Bismillah. Adaman. Adahim. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. Iyaka na'budu. Or Iyaka na'asta'in. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all's day. Make the best out of y'all day. Uh, and learn something. You should be learning something every day. Uh, you learn something whether you want to or don't. uh, you are receivers. But long story short, it's good to know who you are and whose you are. That's what you should know or should want to know. To know who you are and whose you are is supreme. Uh, I like what Son Tisu said. Dude said something. Let me look it up. Give me a second. Son Tisu. If you know the enemy, I like this. Sun Tzu, dude wrote The Art of War. Sun Tzu said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know the enemy, the Bible says, the Bible say in 1 Peter chapter 5, I'm back up to verse 5. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5 says, in the same way, you who are younger, submit yourselves to your elders. All of you, clothe yourselves with humility toward one another, because God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. This is it right here. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. The Bible says, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion. Can you identify him? Some of y'all be riding with people. You can't identify who will turn on you, who will set you up, who will betray you. You can't identify Judas, not Judah. Judas is a carrot, the one who turned Jesus in. Word. You can't identify when you see stuff going on. Listen, Santisu said, if you know the enemy, that's one thing you need to know as well. You need to know the enemy. How can you identify the enemy if you don't know him? Word. When they come with some bull crap, dude gonna come at you from this way, that way. He'll come at you any way you want to come. You need to know, once you're able to recognize, you could stomp that bastard. You know what I mean? Quick. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. People look and wonder how this dude keep on going and going. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not to fear the result of 100 battles. Word. You always would come out victorious. I like the rest of what he said. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. That's very true. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. To succumb means to give in. Every time. If you don't know who you are, and if you don't know who the enemy is, every time you get into a battle, you're gonna lose. A lot of y'all fighting people who you think the enemy, they're not the enemy. Word. Same thing. You seen that movie, The Green Mile? When they what's that big dude name? They killed dude. They thought dude did wrong. Dude ain't do wrong. He was helping people. Jesus. They thought Jesus did wrong. Jesus helping people, but they thought he was the enemy. Many people, bro, y'all confused like hell about who there for you, who ain't, and who ain't. That's why you always get your ass whooped. Word. But if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Long story short, people don't know who they are or whose they are. They don't know how to identify the enemy. Some of y'all caught up with the enemy. But these are things to know. And young brother, young sister, pay close attention. Because if you pay close attention, you'll be able to bob and weave through the tricks and schemes of Satan, as the Bible tells you. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 says, finally, be strong in the Lord. Hey, when I put my big boy pants on and move forward, if you're not with me, you're against me. You can see opposition clearly. And even those who on the other side, I don't wish harm for you. But I know I got to keep going. You know what I mean? And be strong. This ain't a time to be weak. Be weak in the Lord. Nah. It's a lot of things that'll hurt your heart. Word. When you find out your girlfriend cheating on you, that hurt your heart, don't it? But as a man, you gotta shake that dust off, my boy, and keep on going, cause life go on. Or you can sit around and boo-hoo, cry, my girl, this and that. My dude, you don't put your pants on and keep on waking up and do what the hell you gotta do. Take care of yourself. What you mean? You came alone. You better let shorty go and man up and find you another one. She can find another dude, find you another shorty. What you talking about? Word. That a boo. Find one gonna treat you better. Word. Boo crying. That's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Word. Same thing, vice versa. Word. You know what I mean? People be tripping. Be strong in the Lord. You know what I mean? There's one thing in the world. Some of y'all be in the world. You don't know how to be strong in the world. Be strong in the Lord. Word. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's scheme. You gotta take your stand. What you gonna do? Just let Satan boop bop. Take your stand, my nigga, bob and weave. Because he gonna come at you from this way, from that way. Jesus told Peter, Satan has asked to shift all of ye as wheat. Not half of you, all of ye. Each and every single last one of y'all. Satan has asked to shift. You know what shift means? It's this process of getting out the kernel. It means to keep on tossing up. Dropping one thing and toss them up again. Dropping one thing and toss them. This is what Satan has asked of y'all. What Jesus said. This ain't me saying. It's in your Bible. Word. Y'all don't read the Bible. Word. A lot I be seeing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. People don't understand. I'm just gonna say that. Word. Sad to see people don't understand they own junk. What that verse said. I think it's in Luke. Satan has asked to shift. Yeah, Luke 22. My dude, I be on point there. Y'all see the kid. I keep on talking. When it gets to the 12-minute mark, I'm gonna stop talking on this and that. Pick up in the I'm gonna keep on going till it go. I got plenty of time. I ain't in no rush. All right. But I get to talking. I won't even pick up this and that. But I'm in the book as well. All right. Luke 22, verse 31. Luke 22, verse 31 says, Lord Jesus said, Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to shift all of you as wheat. But I pray for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail. And when you have turned back, strengthen your brothers. Word. Simon, the Lord prayed for Simon already. You know what I mean? All right, he all right. But the people, isn't that? But listen, Satan is acting shift all of you. That's what the Bible says. Same thing the Holy Quran says. The Holy Quran said Satan said he gonna since the Lord remained him to be like that. He said he gonna come from them from the front, from the back, from the east, from the west. You're gonna find most of them ungrateful. What the people like? Ungrateful. Word. The Lord, he ain't argue with Satan. He said, get down from here, Satan. Word. Anybody who follow you, I'm gonna feel hell with you all. Word, straight up. Any one of y'all choose the losing side, do what you do. Y'all chose that side. But for young brother, young sister, older brother, older sister, future brother, future sister, pay attention, lock in, because the world we living in, you gotta be focused. You see many people unfocused, many people distracted. I just got off work working 13 hours. Word. They don't think I got juice. I got a lot of juice. A lot of juice. You ain't looking at some weak person. You ain't looking at some weak person. You know what I mean? I don't just sit around and make movies or you know, I don't just smoke all day doing dumb crap. You know what I mean? Or people the ideas and accomplishments that these people got. People say, I do it for my family. My nigga, you never even gave your mom and dad $5. Do it for your family. Word. Let me stick to this. Know who the enemy is. Because you must be able to identify him. Know who you are and whose you are. These three things you should know. Who you are, whose you are, and who the enemy is. You know these three things, you're going to do fine. Brother Paul said in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, finally, be strong in the Lord. This ain't a time to be weak. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. He always do it weird. Make a long story short. Don't y'all all believe that this is a world that's currently ran by Satan? You do? You believe that, right? Well, who running the world? What type of man running the world? There is word. Think about that. Who you see running the world? It ain't you, black man. It ain't the Chinese man. It ain't the Korean man. Isn't it? Who had possession of the world? What Bible you reading from? A King James Bible? Who is King James? King James, king, authority. Who running the world? It ain't you, black man. The world is currently in possession of Satan. All y'all believe that and agree to that. All y'all would say that and agree to that this is a world that is currently ran by Satan. Well, who was running the show? What type of man is in control? That's losing control. And as he loses control, he's putting a grip on everything. He's shutting stuff down. He's shutting stuff down. Cutting off everything. Who could just cut y'all off? It ain't you, black man. Word. Let me read 2 Thessalonians. Because it's fire. I ain't never think about it till the Honorable Elijah Muhammad pointed that out. I said, damn, that is true. But dude is 100% on track with that one. Word. Dude, he on track a whole lot. But he is dead on the head with that one right there. This is way back then. I done spent 15 minutes talking. But I got a lot of juice. I got a lot of juice. If I can find it, my fingers ain't working. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 is a title called The Man of Lawlessness. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1 say, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our being gathered to him, we ask you, brothers and sisters, not to become easily unsettled or alarmed by the teaching allegedly from us, whether by a prophecy or by word of mouth or by letter, asserting that the day of the Lord has already come. Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs. Are the people rebellious? People say it's going to be a great falling away. Many people feel done. Until the rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness is revealed. There's going to be a man of lawlessness that's revealed. 2025. If this was 1900, if this was year 1800, 1700, they'll put a rope around your neck and hang you up for talking like this. Who was they? The damn devils who came over here lawless, the man of lawless, who running the show. It ain't you, black man. It ain't you, Chinese man. It ain't you, Asian man. It ain't you, Korean man. It ain't you, Latino man. It ain't you, Mexican man. The man of lawlessness. This dude is a cowboy. Wow, this is a wild dude. Word, beast like. This dude is like a cowboy. Word. Word, dude, like this man of lawlessness is like a cowboy. Is you getting the picture? I'm just saying, man, I ain't got nothing against my Caucasian brothers who good, but word, you know what I mean? Y'all heard me speak. There's a lot of people I got people who, you know what I mean, who I don't mess with, and they be like my people. I ain't saying my family, this and I'm just saying just many black people. There be some wild black people. We not of the same. I gotta make that distinction. All right, y'all good Caucasian brothers, y'all gotta do the same thing with the ones who did negative. You gotta make that distinction. Otherwise, you can't tell where y'all look alike. That's just like the black people. You can't tell. You'll think everybody nice. Ain't all these niggas nice. Word. Some of these dudes wicked, evil as hell. We gotta watch these dudes. To be honest with you, because they done picked up on the traits of the devil. Gotta watch these niggas. They're back, this and that. But it's gonna be a man of lawlessness. 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. Word. Anyway. Alright. Message to the black man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Told you I ended up spending 20 minutes talking before I even picked the book up. But I got time. Page 108 says, the original black man has been without the knowledge of himself for a long time. And this one, the American so-called Negroes of all of his kind, is the dumbest to the knowledge of self, due to the way his slave master teaches and trains him. But this is a time of the awakening of the poor slave, and no powers on earth or in the heavens above will be able to prevent it. For it is the will and work of Allah and his choice of the people. He has chosen the so-called Negroes, but they, being blinded and made deaf and dumb, have not but a few chosen Allah to be their God. But they will, after they see more of his power displayed in the West, and they will see it. It is going on now. It is a must with Allah to restore the lost sheep. The black people are by nature the righteous. They have love and mercy in their hearts, even after trying to live the life of the devils. This is still recognized in them. When they are fully in the knowledge of self, they will do righteousness and live in peace among themselves. One can't judge them now, for they are not their own selves. True. It ain't flesh and blood we wrestle with. I know that. Word. It ain't flesh and blood we wrestle with. Easily. Word. You know what I mean? And gotta be careful with that, because mess around and mess around or dump somebody on their neck. Or by accident, knowing who the real enemy is behind jump. Mess around, dump one of them on their neck, and then feel bad. Word. Because it ain't really them. They a victim of circumstance. And it's a misfortune when you truly think about that. And I know this. Word. We, the original nation of earth, says Allah, the maker of everything, the sun, moon, stars, and the race called white people, and the white race are the writers of the Bible and Quran. We, the original nation of earth, says Allah, the maker of everything, the sun, the moon, and stars, and the race called the white race, are the writers of the Bible and Quran. We make such history once every 25,000 years. When such history is written, it is done by 24 of our scientists. One acts as judge or God for the others, and the 23 actually do the work of getting up. And the 23 actually do the work of getting up the future of the nation. And all is put into one book, and at intervals where such and such or portion will come to pass, that people will be given that part of the book through one among that people, and uh, that people will be given that part of the book through one among that people from one of the 12 major scientists, as it is then called a scripture, which actually means script, writing from something original or book. There is a significance to the number 24 scientists and the 25,000 years. The number 24 scientists used in the accordance with the hours in our day and the measurement of the circumference of our planet around the equator and in the region of our poles, Arctic and Antarctica oceans. Our planet is not exactly 25,000 miles in circumference. It is 24,896. And we, according to astronomy, don't have a full 24-hour day, but near that 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 46 seconds. That change made in our planet's rotation at the poles is about 1 minute. That change made in our planet's rotation at the poles is about 1 minute a year, and takes 25,000 years to bring about a complete change in the region of the poles. The actual poles are inclines 23.5 degrees to the plane of its orbit. The original Black nation used 23 scientists to write the future of that nation for the next 25,000 years. And the 24th is the judge, or the one, God, Allah. Allah taught me that once upon a time, they made history to last for 35,000 years. Let me stop here and say this. My people, my people must know the truth, the God's truth. The time is at hand. They are reared and taught by the devils, and they know it not, and they know it not. And being ignorant of the truth, they offer opposition to the God of their salvation, who is the very author of truth. I am his messenger. They do this because of the fear of the devils. Uh, they are made to believe that without the friendship of the devils, they would perish. The Bible warns them against the friendship of the devils. James chapter 4, verse 4. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. The sixth verse of the same chapter reads, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Do they dare resist the devils? No, being without the truth of Allah and the devil, they are afraid, and that fear is the cause of their suffering and will be the cause of their destruction in hell with the devils whom they love and fear. Preachers who read and study to teach the Bible to your own people, get the understanding of it first before teaching it to the blind, deaf, and dumb of your people, lest you lead both them and yourselves to hell. Remember, your white slave masters are your translators and teachers of the Bible. They who will not give you justice under this law will not give you truth and justice in the world of God. Stop being a fool for false friendships of the devils. Stop teaching your people to love their enemies, which is a lie. The devils teach and claim that Jesus taught it. We are the makers of divine histories, and who is better in knowledge than Allah? Man is easily made, but the sun, moon, and stars are much harder to make. Yet we are the makers of them. And making the moon, it was not our original Father's intention to make the moon as it is. His real intention was to destroy the moon, Earth, but failed, and all others who make such attempts will fail. What? You disbelieve it? Do you not see that the devils are trying to make themselves a satellite to make you believe that they are the masters of the heavens and earth, as it is written of them in the Bible and Holy Quran? Isaiah 14, verse 13, verses 14 through 16. They destroyed other people, cities, and opened not the house of his prisoners. None has fulfilled this prophecy better than America. She has destroyed other nations, cities, while she has not suffered the loss of one of her cities by a foreign nation, while preaching the freedom of her own people from the powers of other nations. She holds a whole nation, the so-called Negroes, prisoner, and refuses to open the door of freedom, justice, and equality to them. She threatens to go to war against other nations who hold any of her citizens prisoners. They now boast of building rockets to land on our moon and to build a small contraption to try circling the earth like our moon, which we have made to revolve around the earth. The following is from the Holy Quran, and we, the devils, sought to reach heaven, but we found it filled with strong guards and flames, and we, the devils, used to sit in some of the sitting places thereof to steal a hearing. But he who tries to listen now finds a flame lying in wait for him. The Holy Quran chapter 72, verses 8 through 9. I am for the separation of my people from their enemies, where they, that they share not in the enemy's destruction, even though I may lose my own life in this daring attempt to save them by the plain, by the plain, simple truth of God and power. It must be done and will be done, regardless of whom or what. It can be done in one day. It can be done in one day, but Allah desires to make himself known in the West as it is written of him. Our 66 trillion years from the moon has proven a great and wise show of the original power to build wonders in the heavens and earth. 6,000 years ago, or to be more exact, 6,600 years ago, as Allah taught me, our nation gave birth to another God whose name was Yaqub. He started studying the life germ of man to try making a new creation, a new man, whom our 24 scientists had foretold 8,400 years before the birth of Mr. Yaqub, and the scientists were aware of his birth and work before he was born, as they are today of the intentions or ideas of the present world. According to the word of Allah to me, Mr. Yaqub was seen by the 23 scientists of the Black nation over 15,000 years ago. They predicted that in the 8,400 year that was in our calendar before this world of the white race, this man, Yaqub, will be born 20 miles from the present holy city, Mecca, Arabia, and that at the time of his birth, the satisfaction and dissatisfaction of the people would be 70% satisfied, 30% dissatisfied. And that when this man is born, he would change civilization, the world, and produce a new race of people who would rule the original Black nation for 6,000 years, from the 9,000 year to the 15,000 year. After that time, the original Black nation would give birth to one whose wisdom, knowledge, and power will be infinite. One whom the world will recognize as being the greatest and mightiest God since the creation of the universe, and that he will destroy Yaqub's world and restore the original nation or ancient nation into power to rule forever. This mighty one is known under many names. He has no equal. There never was one like him. He is referred to in the Bible as God Almighty, and in some places as Jehovah, the God of gods and Lord of lords. The Holy Quran refers to him as Allah, the one God. Besides him, there is no God, and there is none like him, the supreme being, the mighty, the wise, the best knower, the light, the life giver, the Mahdi. This is he whom I have met and am missioned by. He also is referred to as the Christ, the second Jesus, the Son of Man, who is wise and is all powerful. He knows how to reproduce the universe and the people of his choice. He will remove and destroy the present old, wearing, wicked world of Yaqub, the Caucasian world, and set up a world of peace and righteousness out of the present so-called Negroes who are rejected and despised by this world. Mr. Yaqub was naturally born out of the 30% dissatisfied, as we know. Wherever there is a longing or demand for a change, nature will produce that man who will bring it about. Allah taught me that the present percentage of this satisfaction is 98%. near 100%, with the present ruling powers. This 100% dissatisfied will bring about a 100% change. Yaqub did not bring about a 100% change, but near 90%. Allah said, when Yaqub was 6 years old, one day he was sitting down playing with two pieces of steel. He noticed the magnetic power in the steel attracting the other. He looked up at his uncle and said, Uncle, when I get to be an old man, I'm going to make a people who shall rule you. The uncle said, What will you make? Something to make mischief and cause bloodshed in the land? Yaqub said, Nevertheless, uncle, I know that which you do not know. And it was at that moment the boy Yaqub first came into the knowledge of just who he was, born to make trouble, break peace, kill, and destroy his own people with a made enemy to the black nation. He learned his future from playing with steel. It is steel and more steel that his made race, the white race, are still playing with. Steel has become the most useful of all metal for the people. What he really saw in playing with the two pieces of steel was the magnetic power of attraction, the one attracting and drawing the other under its power. In this, he saw an unlike human being made to attract others, who could, with the knowledge of tricks and lies, rule the original black man until that nation could produce one greater and capable of overcoming and making manifest his race of tricks and lies with a nation of truth. Yaqub was the founder of unlike attracts and like repels. Though Mr. Yaqub was a member of the black nation, he began school at the age of 4. He had an unusual sized head. When he had grown up, the others referred to him as the big head scientist. At the age of 18, he had finished all of the colleges and universities of his nation and was seen preaching on the streets of Mecca, making converts. He made such impressions on the people that many began following him. He learned from studying the germ of the black man under the microscope that there were two people in him, and that one was black and the other brown. He said if he could successfully separate the one from the other, he could graft the brown germ into its last stage, which will be white. With this wisdom, he could make the white race. With this wisdom, he could make the white, which he discovered was the weaker of the black germ, which would be unlike uh, rule the black nation for a time until a greater one than Yaqub was born. This new idea put him to work finding the necessary converts to begin grafting his new race of people. He began by teaching Islam with promises of luxury to those who would believe and follow him. As Mr. Yaqub continued to preach for converts, he told his people that he would make the others work for him. This promise came to pass. Naturally, there are always some people around who would like to have others do their work. Those are the ones who fell for Mr. Yaqub's teaching 100%. As he made converts in and around the holy city of Mecca, persecution set in. The authorities became afraid of such powerful teachings with promises of luxury and making slaves of others. As they began making arrests of those who believed the teaching, the officers will go back and find, to their surprise, others still teaching and believing it. Finally, they arrested Mr. Yaqub, but it only increased the teaching. They kept persecuting and arresting Mr. Yaqub's followers until they filled all the jails. The officers finally reported to the king that there was no room to put a prisoner in. If arrested, all the jails are filled, and when we go out into the streets, we find them still teaching. What shall we do with them? The king questioned the officers on just what the teachings were. On just what the teachers on the teachings were, and of the name of the leader. The officers gave the king the answers to everything. The king said, "This is not the name of that man." On entering the prison, the king was shown Yaqub's cell as Assalamu alaikum. The king said, "So you are Mr. Yaqub?" He said. "I am," the king said. "Yaqub, I have come to see if we could work out some agreement that would bring about an end to this trouble. What would you suggest?" Mr. Yaqub told the king, "If you give me and my followers everything to start civilization as you have, and furnish us with money and other necessities of life for 20 years, I will take my followers and we will go from you." The king was pleased with the suggestion or condition made by Yaqub and agreed to take care of him for 20 years until Yaqub's followers were able to go for themselves. After learning who Mr. Yaqub was, they all were afraid of him and were glad to make almost any agreement with him and his followers. The history or future of Mr. Yaqub and his people was in the nation's book by the writers, 23 scientists of our history, 8,400 years before his birth. So the government began to make preparation for the exiling of Mr. Yaqub and his followers. The king ordered everyone rounded up who was a believer in Mr. Yaqub. They took them to the seaport and loaded them on ships. After rounding them all up into ships, they numbered 59,999. Yaqub made 60,000. Their ships sailed out to an owl in the is that an E? The ships sailed out to an owl in the Acacian Sea called Palan, the Bible's Patmos. After they were loaded into the ships, Mr. Yaqub examined each of them to see if they were 100% with him, and to see if they were all healthy and productive people. If not, he would throw them off. Some were found to be unfit, and overboard they went. When they arrived at the owl, Mr. Yaqub said to them, "See how the holy people have cast us out. Now, if you would choose me to be your king, I will teach you how to go back and rule them all." Damn. Of course, they had already chosen Yaqub to be their king at the very first start. So Yaqub chose doctors, ministers, nurses, and a cremator for his top laborers. He called these laborers together and told them about his plan for making a new people who would rule for 6,000 years. He called the doctor first and said, "Doctor, let all the people come to you who want to marry. And if they come to you, uh, two real black ones, take a needle and get a little of their blood and go into your room and pretend to be examining it to see whether their blood will mix. Then come and tell them that they will each have to find another mate because their blood does not mix. It was the aim of Yaqub to get rid of the black, and he did. Hmm. Give them a certificate to take to the minister, warning the minister against marrying the couple because their blood does not mix. When there comes, when there comes to you two browner ones, take a pretended blood test of them, but give them a certificate saying that they are eligible to marry. Mr. Yaqub's charge to his laborers was very strict. Death if one disobeyed. They didn't know what Yaqub had in mind until they were given their labor to do. He made his laborers from the chef to the least liars. The doctor lied about the blood of two black people who wanted to marry, that it did not mix. The brown and black could not be married. The brown and black could not be married. Brown only. The doctors of today hold the same position over the people. You go to them to get a blood test to see if you are fit to be married. Today, they say it is done to see if there are any contagious germs in the blood. I wish that they would enforce such a law today. Keep the white from mixing with black. Just the opposite. Perhaps we could remain black and not be disgraced by a mixture of all colors. In the days of Yaqub's grafting of the present white race, a new and unlike race among the black nation for 600 years, his law was that they should not allow the birth of a black baby in their family, but the white devil should mix their blood with the black nation in order to help destroy black, but they should not allow the black to mix with their blood. His aim was to kill and destroy the black nation. He ordered the nurses to kill all black babies that were born among his people by pricking the brains with a sharp needle as soon as the black child's head is out of the mother. If the mother is alert watching the nurse, then the nurse will lie and fool the mother to get possession of child to murder it by saying that she, mother, gave birth to an angel child and that she, the nurse, would like to take the baby to heaven. And so when the mother dies, she would have a room with her child in heaven, for her baby was an angel. This is the beginning of the first lie or liar. And it was so that the nurse would take the black baby away on the falsehood and claim that they were taking the poor black baby to heaven. As Yaqub had taught them, they would feed it to wild beasts, and if they did not, a wild beast to feed, and if they did not, a wild beast to feed the black babies to. Yaqub told the nurses to give it to the cremator to burn. Damn. Mr. Yaqub warned the laborers from Mr. Yaqub warned the laborers from the doctor down to the cremator that if any one of them failed to carry out his orders, off go their heads. Damn. When there was a birth of a brown baby, the nurse would come and make much ado over it, and would tell the mother that she had given birth to a holy child, and that she would nurse it for 6 weeks, for her child was going to be a great man. That is, when it was a boy, when it was a boy baby. After the first 200 years, Mr. Yakub had done away with the black babies, and all were brown. After another 200 years, he had all yellow or red, which was 400 years after being on Palam. Another 200 years, which brings us to the 600th year, Mr. Yakub had an all pale white race of people on this isle. Of course, Mr. Yakub lived but 150 years, but his ideas continued in practice. He gave his people guidance in the forms of literature, what they should do and how to do it, how to rule the black nation. He said to them, when you become unlike white, you may return to the Holy Land and people from where whom you were exiled. The Yakub made devils were uh were really pale white with really blue eyes, which we think are the ugliest of colors for human eyes. They were they were they were called they were called Caucasian, which means, according to some of the Arab scholars, one whose evil effect is not confined to oneself alone, but affects others. There was no good taught to them while on the island by teaching the nurses to kill the black baby and save the brown baby, so as to graft the white out of it by lying to the black mother of the baby. This lie was born into the very nature of the white baby, and murder for the black people also born into them, or made by nature a liar and murderer. The black nation is only fooling themselves to take the Caucasian race otherwise. This is what Jesus learned of their history before he gave up his work of trying to convert the Jews or white race to the religion of Islam. And the same knowledge of them was given to Muhammad by the imams or scientists of Mecca. That is why the war of the Muslims against them came to a stop. Muhammad was told that he could not reform the devils and that race had 1,400 more years to live. The only way to make righteous people, Muslims, out of them was to graft them back into the black nation. This grieved Muhammad so much that it caused him heart trouble until his death, age 62, age 62 and 1/2 years. The old scientists used to laugh at Muhammad for thinking that he convert them. The old scientists used to laugh at Muhammad for thinking that he could convert them, the devils, to Islam. This hurt his heart. Mr. Yakub taught his made devils on Palam that when you go back to the holy black nation, rent a room in their homes, teach your wives to go out the next morning around the neighbors of the people and tell that you heard her talking about them last night. Word. Just lying for no reason. Must come up to you and just start lying. Some of y'all be doing that crap. Just come and just start talking, just start making up a lie. Well, must be full of it. All right, let me stop there. Because I'm about to go to BED. I'm a JUMPBACKONTHATLATERON. YOUDIG. Y'all be blessed. Peace.